Hello YouTube, Adam here. I've been playing for a while now, Surviving Mars. Pretty much as soon as I heard this game was coming out, I knew I was going to buy it. Any game published by Paradox, I'm interested automatically in. I've put in probably about 40 hours actually, which is kind of crazy. Like, I've played quite a bit. We're going to go ahead and start a new game here. Now, we have a choice of mission sponsor. International Mars mission is just kind of the easiest one. We'll go with that. There's different bonuses for different commanders. I personally prefer the Inventor because basically the drones just work a lot better. The drone hubs, which build things, they don't need power maintenance. And the drones construct stuff faster over the first 100 days. If we look here, there's different amounts of money basically is what changes in different perks. Basically, you get the International Mars, we get rockets synthesized fuel, which means we don't have to make fuel to send the rockets back. We also get larger payload, colonists never get Earthsick, and we get a much bigger food supply as well. So all of those things make the game quite a bit easier. I'm definitely not in an expert mode on this, so we'll just go with that. I like that logo, sure. And we'll leave it on random mystery. That sounds nice. Now, friendship's fine name, I suppose. And I think our default loadout here is just fine. Now, as far as where we want to build our colony, we have here, which is relatively flat, good metals, a lot of meteor activity there. That's a little, I mean, I guess there's an upside. Sometimes you get research in metals and stuff from the meteor, so I suppose there's a bit of an upside to that as well, but what do we want to do here? Relatively flat, good water, well, okay water and good everything else. I'm kind of liking the sound of that place. Let's see what let's go with that. Why not, I say.
Welcome to Mars.
Alright, so what do we got here? It looks like we have a big canyon-y kind of cratery thingy in the middle, which means we can't actually probably get down there right away. So if we land down here, we're going to be stuck down here. So we'll obviously want to land on the outside. We'll have to build tunnels to get up, basically. I want to have a look around, see if we can find any interesting stuff, just randomly. Well, why not? We'll send a probe there too. Not really. I was hoping I'd find water right off the bat here. We have a metal source here, some science, some concrete. Concrete's pretty important, so I guess we'll just land our rocket over here, and I don't know, right about there seems good enough. Now, while that rocket's coming down, let's figure out our tech stuff here. We already have that. Getting more science right off the bat kind of makes sense because it'll make everything else go faster. Farms are good. Large in-dome building with... Fuel compression, well, that'd be nice to have at some point. Better transports would be a nice thing. I guess we'll just do it in that order there. Just to get a bit of a tech tree started there. And our rocket has arrived here. Thought I had a different texture available. I remember these being blue before. Alright, so our little rovers are all coming off. This is the, this rover is the drone controller. This one is a explorer which can do research. This one is basically like a pickup truck. It can go pick up resources and transport resources around. I'll get it started right away, I guess, picking up some metals, so we can kind of organize things here. Now, as far as the base layout goes, I wish I could zoom out just a little bit farther and still like not be in the overall map mode. But we need to get concrete going pretty much right off the bat. And I think what we'll do is let's just get this drone moved over yonder. I basically like to just set up a big cargo area right here. We want to have concrete. These are free to build, so I just lay out a bunch of them. Does not cost us anything. I'll do like 5 concrete, 5 metal to get started here. There's stuff on board the rocket that we need to unload before it leaves, but it is synthesizing fuel slowly, so we don't need to worry about making fuel right off the bat. We have 3 more rockets that we can call in, and after that we actually have to send one back if we want to get anything else from Earth. So this will automatically start picking up metal that's in the vicinity. All these drone, the ship can act as a drone controller, this can act as a drone controller, and then we have drone control buildings. So anything within this range, the drones will automatically work, and so they're going to start picking up all that metal that's just strewn about here. So I guess it makes sense to just send this guy off a little bit farther here, because I basically just go pick up all the metal I can, is more or less my policy. So now that we've got that underway, let's get our... Where do we want to put our drone guy? I mean, I guess we could tuck one up here, because that would probably work the whole landing area and the concrete thing. And then I'm going to be building some domes, so I want to kind of give some thought to where they're going to be. I guess we'll reserve this whole area down here. Domes are fairly big. Even the small domes are, I mean, they're pretty big, so I suppose we will want to put one right here because there's a metal source here. Yeah, so we'll call that good. Let's get our little drone controller infrastructure thing set up here. We'll just slap that down there. That should be able to work in the whole area. This is a prefabricated one that we brought with us from Earth, so it does not need any resources to construct. And I think it comes with 4 drones, and then we have the 6 here, so I'll reassign those 6 from the ship to that controller, and we'll be good. Now, as far as these things go, there's a set amount of resources, very high grade. That's good, so we'll get better production. But we will exhaust this at some point in the future. I think there's a tech that you can research that allows you to keep working at a reduced level later, but now I'm just going to put that there even though it's not maxing out the available stuff. It's good enough. Now, drones. I've been playing for a while, so my drones have speed upgrades. It's kind of weird to play with these really slow drones. I'm just reassigning them all to that. So we have 0 assigned to the ship, and we have 10 assigned to the drone hub. Now they're going to be gathering stuff, and they'll start working on building this controller. We're going to need to get some power going at some point here as well. But let's check in on our Explorer. There he is. And I guess we'll send him up here. These are all battery powered, so they do need to recharge, but we still have a good amount of power. I believe I have some free generators that, well, not free, but some generators. Yeah, we have a couple generators, so probably slap those bad boys down somewhere. But let's see first. We can jam some solar panels maybe in here. How would I want to do that? I kind of have patterns that I like to set. This realistically would probably be a bad place to put solar panels because there's going to be a big shadow there a lot. And the rockets are going to kick up dust. Dust is a big problem. It contaminates stuff and you have to clean it. It's basically just makes you have to do maintenance more. So I guess we'll just start slapping down a couple of these. We have them. When they're closed, they actually take no maintenance, so that's fine and dandy. We'll just put them in a nice little row there. And we need to run some power lines. Although this doesn't actually need a power line, it will be easier to just transfer through there. And everything's hex-based, so you can't really make a straight line up and down, but we'll just do some of this. And not real sure where I want to run this out, actually. We'll go this way just so it goes around the rocket. And yeah, clear the blocking objects. Oh, it is working on clearing the metals in the way. Get that metal out of there, little drones. How much metal is left? Quite a bit. So these generate less power. They have an open and a closed mode. Again, we had 2 of these as prefab, so it should just come down here and put them out, but we gotta wait for this. Let's get up to higher speed just so things go a little quicker. Yeah, so these generate 10 if they're closed and 20 if they're open. If they're open, the core gets dusty, so we'll leave them closed. I kind of like to have that as an emergency power source anyway, so we'll just let that be. I'm waiting for the drones to clear this metal so I can build my stupid power cable. And we get the concrete operation going here. There we go. So they'll get that set up. These, I think it's like 5 segments of this cost 1 metal of power cable. So they'll bring metal over and deal with that. We don't
We've
really
just
need
found
to have
Beagle
that.
2. Or at least what's left of it.
Beagle 2. Great Galactic Ghoul. Well, we get a bonus to tech on robotics. So, let's have you come back down here. No, you can probably do 1 more, right? Well, that's kind of far away now. We'll have you come back down here so we don't have to end up sending a rescue mission. If we just right-click on a power cable, it'll come back down here and charge automatically. So, we don't have to worry about him dying out there and have to go send stuff to go save him. Now, what resources? We have a few polymers, electronics, and machine parts left on board that need to be unloaded, but we'll worry about that later because the rocket's not going anywhere for a while still. And somebody's at my door. Hold on. Alright, so I'm back. I had to go deal with somebody at the door. Annoying stuff. Anyway, we got our concrete extractor online. Now it's just going to keep on working on extracting until it runs out of stuff in its immediate vicinity. It has like an area that it works here. So we need to figure out what we're going to do with all that waste rock that it's going to generate. I guess we'll just have it shove it over there for now. So the drones will just keep coming back and forth dealing with that stuff. Now, this shows that we have 300 research per day, 15 power. So this is using 5. We have 20 being generated. And there's our stats of concrete and metal and all those things. Now, the ultimate goal here is obviously to get colonists on the Mars. So we need to start thinking about that. And there's a lot of things that obviously humans need that drones don't need. It's going to take a while to have enough concrete to actually build that dome. So I think what we're going to do, let's order up another cargo rocket here. We want to have... What do we need? I don't think... Well, we'll take like 2 evaporators because that's a good way to get water. There's no water near us, so we'll do that. I'd like to order another transport just because it's good to have one. We'll order 10 more drones so that we can max out the drones on that drone hub. And we'll just order the rest with some... Well, we don't really need food yet. We'll get food from the rocket. Good enough. So that rocket's leaving Earth. It'll take a while to get here, but it has some stuff on it that we need. Let's go ahead and put down some more storage locations here, I suppose. I generally just put down like 5 of everything because we're going to need it all. There we go. Get the polymers unloaded. I guess we'll put electronics just back here. It'll be good enough. Again, these are free, so I just kind of freely throw them about so that I don't have to think too much about it. There are universal depots, but I don't like to use that for the main cargo area because they don't really hold very much. They hold a little bit of everything, and it's just a lot easier to do it this way, in my opinion. There's probably keyboard shortcuts to do this, but I don't know them, so whatever. Now this guy's full. Let's go ahead and unload all that crap over here. And mainly I wanted to have that in place so when the next rocket shows up, we're good to go. I'll park this guy here so he's just charging automatically. We don't really need the drone controller rover for the moment because we're just operating here, so his drones will just help in the immediate vicinity. Now, did I put that outside of drone control? I did put that outside the drone control area, just barely. So let's go ahead and put down another one of these so we don't get buried under waste stone. And again, those dumping sites are free too, so we don't get any resources back for having deleted that. And I suppose it doesn't really pay to have you just sitting around, does it? So really what we're looking for is a nice source of water would be good, because then we can make rocket fuel a lot more easily. It would also be good to find a rare metal source. Oh yeah, I never really set my scanning. That's a big waste of time that we've been doing then. We can scan these automatically in the immediate area. I should probably set up a sensor tower somewhere so that we can scan right around us a little bit more quickly. And where do I want to jam this thing? I guess there's good enough. And put in a power cable. There we go. Cool beans. So that'll make the, it gives a boost to scanning in the immediate area. You see right here, we don't have any boost. Now we have a 400% boost here, 280. Obviously it falls off as we get farther away, so it pays to build more scanning towers. But they need power right now. There is tech I think we can research that eliminates the need for the power, but I obviously don't have that yet, so just gotta deal with it as it is. And I like to just have the rockets kind of land in like a landing area here. I just set up a whole landing zone. It's simpler for me. You don't have to have them land in the same place every time, but I like to. And our rocket will be down in a minute. It doesn't seem to really matter if it lands basically on top of the drones. I think they get dusty. They have a dust meter as well. But they just kind of fix themselves and stuff, so it's not such a big deal. It's less good if these things get too dusty, but and definitely like machines and stuff like the concrete, I'm sure just got a lot of maintenance that needs to be done, but it kicks up dust of its own, so I'm not real worried about it. And the ship's taking off and landing probably don't matter that much, just because it doesn't happen all that often. And do we have anywhere to send you to go gather some materials? I guess there's some metal out here, so go find the metal for us. And you go as well. So yeah, they're good because they can pick up the materials that are outside of the immediate area here, that we can actually work with the drones. Of course, this actually needs an extractor, which requires people to work. So before we can start getting a more permanent source of metal, a more reliable source of metal, we'll have to get a dome up and running, but put down some extra storage there. Alright, so that rocket's unloaded. It has regenerated almost a third of its fuel already, so that's good. And they're just going to keep working on unloading. So I think this is pretty much going to be a half-hour per episode series. It's a lot of slow going, so we'll be playing a lot in fast forward. I have a reasonable amount of experience in this game now, so I kind of know what to do. I don't know if it's like, you know, critical path, like most optimal stuff. I don't really worry too much about that, but definitely I think probably next time we'll start getting a dome constructed, and we may as well just figure out where we're going to put that. We'll just put a basic dome.
Sector scanned.
Down. I guess we'll put it over here because I might want to connect like 3 domes in an area here just because I don't have access to larger domes
Research
yet.
complete.
So we'll put a dome like... Can I build on top of... No, I can't build on top of that, so we're going to be limited. We'll put a dome there. And that's still within the working... No, it is not within the working area of that. Huh. Well, that's slightly irritating. It's within the ship's working area. I thought this was a bigger area that I could work. So we're going to have to put down another drone controller to actually get this done. Which is fine. Actually, let's rethink this then. I don't know why I'm thinking so much about this dome placement, because it doesn't matter that
Sector
much.
scanned. Anomaly found.
I'm going to put it right about... I think that's more or less the same place I put it, but I'm going to put a drone controller out here so that we'll have drones that specifically work at the dome. And I think that's a pretty good start here. Did we find... Oh, we found rare metals. That's more important than this, actually, than the non-rare metals. So we want our first dome to be out here because we can actually earn money off of these rare metals. So I'm a lot more concerned about working that. And I guess we'll just throw a dome down there. And that's actually more convenient anyway. Although it's only halfway within the zone of there. I need it to be kind of fully within that in order for all the buildings to get maintenance and service and stuff that are going to be in the dome. So, yeah, there we go. Now we can actually see both. Because we need to have this within the range of the dome. We'll call that good. Seems like a fine spot to put a dome down. And that's going to take a whole bunch of stuff. It's going to take 80 concrete, 20 metals, and 10 polymers. We have everything except maybe the concrete, but we're generating the concrete, so it's, yeah, we have almost enough concrete as it is. We actually might, because they put that down there either. So these guys are done. Send them back to unload, although I sent them to the wrong place. And anything else? Yep, more metal up there. Get him to gather that up. So yeah, I think I'm going to end it here for today. When we come back, we'll hopefully get this dome going and maybe start getting the life support systems online so that we can get people coming. So, well, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.